Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Albu. I'm the build manager for OO content. I want to present to you today Ansible and Ansible Tower integration between OO and Ansible. Most of you who work with OO are familiar with this tool. It's basically a competitor for our OO. So Ansible has two flavors. The simple Ansible, which started like 5-6 years ago, it's a free software platform which you can use to configure and manage multiple computers and make ad hoc executions of automated tasks. And Ansible Tower formerly AWX, it's a web-based solution that goes over the simple Ansible and provides a GUI for for better managing playbooks, users, and permissions to the Ansible infrastructure. Now, the idea of this integration started from the fact that we have a lot of let's say small to medium customers out there, and we would like, let's say, to poach them if they want to expand, to scale up. So this customer has a lot of legacy systems. These legacy systems most of the time use Ansible to automate tasks. Now, having this integration will help customers just point their automation framework to OO, make some small modifications here and there, configure some customized flows, and they can run Ansible through OO. So basically they can use 100% of their automation through OO. So I'll just show you the structure of the content pack. Here on your left is the structure of the content pack. We try to keep it as two separate integrations. Simple Ansible doesn't have a REST API, so we leverage SSH commands on it, but Ansible Tower does have a REST API, so we created some pointers. Now, we had limited time, so me, George, tried to shift the responsibilities in two. I work primarily on the sample flow and on the simple Ansible, and George focused more on the REST API integration. Now, this content pack is not 100% done, but the first part, the Ansible, the simple Ansible, it's done. So it can be used right now to automate Ansible legacy systems. So now for the live demo. So let's go back. So this is our sample flow. I used three other flows that we created. So the add a machine to group, which adds a machine to the Ansible host file. Then we run playbooks with variables through Ansible. This means that we can pass different variables to a generic playbook, and then we delete the machine from the default inventory, and we send an email at the end. Now you see a lot of set flow variables. This is set up by me, so I can pass some statuses, and then when the email is sent, it basically generates a dynamic report. Now we will run the flow. It takes a little time just to connect to Roseville, because I'm connected from my machine in Romania to the Roseville lab. So the first step is done. Then it ran the playbook successfully. Then it deleted the machine, and then it tested and sent the email. And I should receive the email shortly. It takes 10-15 seconds for the SMTP server to redirect my email. Okay, and here we go. So this is the email that I get. As you can see, this is a, we can also download the pictures. Normally Outlook blocks this. So you see here we have a generated report with the log. So basically it brings the log from Ansible. So if you go and run these commands, all these commands manually, you will receive this this type of log. So you have the log number 1, which basically adds your machine to the file. Then log number 2, where you you manipulate the adding of the file to the host file of Ansible. And then we run the generic playbook, which we pass variables from the command line. So we have here OK2 tasks. Ensure Apache 2 is running. So basically this is I created a generic playbook which we can use to run on a multitude of servers. The same run on all the machines. And then we delete the machine from the inventory because we don't want to cloud our inventory file. Now, as I told you, this email is dynamic because you receive something. Let me just see if I can find the report. Okay, so this is a report where basically it failed to run something. So when it fails, it takes the variables that you saw in the flow and passes them to the email. So you get failure images. But I just need to find the correct log so I can show you. Or we can just run it again. So we can go into the properties and run it again with a, let's say we want to run 1, 2, 3. So this playbook, we are putting this input, but we don't have it on the system, so it will fail. And the returning email, you'll see it's modified, and it actually tells you what the problem is. So on which step of the flow failed. So as you can see here, it tried to run the command, but it failed. These are these were the variables sent to the playbook, and then we have the email sent. And now we just need to wait a bit for the email. Okay. So as you can see here, it should have been a picture, the failed image. For some reason, it doesn't take it dynamically from the internet. So the color change, it's red, so it meant that the playbook could not be found. So it couldn't run the playbook, so it goes further and deletes the machine from the inventory, so you don't have a cluttered legacy environment. Now, going back to the actual flows, as you can see here, there are 2 flows. So one is run playbook and one is run playbook with variables. So on this one, it's pretty simple. You just have a remote command which you run. So you can specify the repository, so the directory path for your Ansible repository, and then the name of the YAML file you want to run, or the playbook name. Everything is documented. So here are the inputs, and here are the description, which actually tells you what each input does. Also here on the variables, as you can see here, we have a subflow, right, which creates the JSON variables. So you basically send the variables as a list, as I did here, with key equals value. You can put a delimiter, so the delimiter is custom. You can put whatever delimiter you want, and then it parses over this and creates a JSON, which is passed to the remote command here. So it's passed as extra variables. So what this means is if you have a legacy system, as most of the customers have, it will be easier for them to run same generic flows on different machines with a list. So it's just easier. And pretty much that's it for the Ansible, simple Ansible. On Ansible Tower, George created some of the REST calls. So we have create inventory, flow, then get inventory, create organization. We can ping the tower instance. Here in the utilities we have get authentication token, because you can use a authentication token to get access to the REST call. We can get the configuration. And here in the utilities is the flow that I created with an actual scriptlet that does everything that we need. So that's it. That's it. Hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions.
Yes, Dan, thank you. I have two questions. This is very valuable. It covers very nicely the integration from raw to Ansible and Ansible Tower. I'm asking, did you have a chance to look also on similar integration from CloudSlang to Ansible and Ansible Tower? And secondly, did you have a chance to look also on the other direction by defining an Ansible module that knows to execute OO or CloudSlang flows?
No. No, my idea was just I have an Ansible legacy system. I want to scale my business. HP gives me servers and software. Does the software run my legacy system? That was the idea. So very simple, very on the point. Now,
Yes.
of course, after we made this integration, we saw the possibilities that we can make CloudSlang integration, then we can integrate Ansible with OO based on the module because they have the documentation.
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. It's very helpful. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, then I can stop the presentation and the next person in line can take it.
Thank you, Dan.